Are you looking for different meals you can make in the cold, upcoming winter months of January and February? I know in the Midwest, January and February have been seeming to be the coldest weather we are getting over the past few years. Like, it gets in the negatives, it's snowing all the time. So I absolutely love making hearty and delicious soups during this time. And today we are going to go through 2 different absolutely delicious and amazing soups that you can make at home when it is really cold outside. So first we are going to do a chicken noodle soup, which I have already gotten my carrots and celery all chopped up. We still need to cut up our onions, so we're gonna do that. And then our second soup is gonna be a cheeseburger soup. And this one is so good. If you've never had a cheeseburger soup, it is delicious and going to be one of your favorites. So let's get started by cutting up our onion. And we only need half an onion, so that's why I cut it in half, and then I'm just gonna skin this one and put the other half of the onion in the fridge. I don't know if you noticed my new cutting board, but this is something my husband got me for Christmas, and I absolutely love it. A neighbor of ours is actually, he's a carpenter and he has his own business, and he made it, so that's really cool. And my mom got me this really cool onion saver thing for Christmas. So you're supposed to put like my half onion in there, and then it doesn't stink up your fridge. So I'm gonna use this and see how it works. So I just have my other half of the onion, putting it in here, put the lid on. That'll be really nice. I used to use like Ziploc bags, but now I won't have to waste so many Ziploc bags. I can just reuse this. So pretty cool. Our pan and oil are getting really warm. So I'm gonna pour all of our carrots and celery in here and our onions. And we're gonna saute these for like 5 minutes, just until they get not so hard and just a little soft. While we wait for our vegetables to be done, we are gonna measure our chicken stock. We need 8 whole cups. And this is a 4-cupper. So I'm just gonna measure 4 cups now, and then we'll measure the other 4 cups later. Our vegetables are looking really good, so we're gonna go ahead and add in some seasonings. We've got curly parsley, and this is some that we grew ourselves and dried. And we've got Genovese basil, and we also grew this ourselves and dried it. And then we've got rosemary and thyme that we're gonna add. Oh, looks like our thyme's almost gone. And then we have 4 cups of cold water we need to add as well. And then instead of chicken, I'm actually gonna use turkey because we had leftover turkey from Christmas. And this is a great way to reuse turkey after Thanksgiving or Christmas or anytime really. So I have about almost 2 pounds of turkey here. And I'm just, to make it easier to put in the pot, I'm gonna put it in my measuring cup first and then into the soup. So we have about 4 cups of turkey as well, shredded turkey. Splash all over the place. I'm gonna break up some of the turkey in here because it's a little big chunks, but it'll be fine. We'll break it up as we go. And then we are gonna just let this sit and simmer, although actually I need salt and pepper. So we're gonna add salt and pepper real quick. And then we are not gonna have this until dinner time. So I'm gonna let this simmer for like 4 hours, and then I'll add the noodles. I don't wanna add the noodles and let it sit for 4 or 5 hours, and the noodles become mush. So we are gonna let this just really get all those flavors melded together. And then later, before we eat, I'll add the noodles in to cook. So there's a really easy recipe you can make that will be super great in the cold winter months. It's got your veggies in it, it's got chicken stock, just really delicious, and a great way to use leftovers if you have leftover turkey from the holidays, or a lot of times I will buy a rotisserie chicken from Costco and then we shred that up. So if you have rotisserie chicken, that's a great thing to use. But yeah, otherwise, chicken or turkey work interchangeably pretty easily with this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna put this on like 1 and just let it sit and simmer all day. All right, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. Okay, for our cheeseburger soup, we also need the chopped carrots and celery and an onion, which at the time of making this, I did not have any onions. So I just added onion powder into our hamburger, and I put about a whole teaspoon of onion powder in the hamburger just to make up for that onion flavor, since I didn't have any onions at the time I made this. I would recommend, if you do have onions, chop it up, and you would cook that in with the celery and carrots that we are cooking. So just a little FYI, if you don't have an onion, you can use the onion powder or use an actual chopped up onion. I can specifically remember my mom making this cheeseburger soup every year at Christmas time. We always on Christmas Eve have soups, and cheeseburger soup is just one of them that is a staple in my house growing up. And then now I'm going to also have this a staple in our house now that I have my own family, because it is just so good. The creaminess of the cheeses and then the hamburger and the potatoes, it's just a delicious hearty soup that like is so good, and you cannot miss it in the winter season. Like, it's a staple you have to make. Probably biased, but I think it's so good. We also need about 4 cups of diced potatoes. So that came out to 3 large potatoes for me. So we're gonna shred these. And I know in my potato soup video, I did not take the skins off, but I do prefer taking the skins off in this cheeseburger soup, just because you want the cheese and the hamburger and everything to come out more versus the extra potato skins in it. So either way, it would still be fine if you wanted to keep the skins on, but I prefer for this recipe to take them off. So, and we are also not pre-cooking them. These are raw, they're gonna go in and they are going to saute along with the carrots and celery as well. So we don't need to pre-cook them for this recipe. And for this recipe, we are going to saute our celery, carrots, and potatoes in about 4 tablespoons of melted butter. So you wanna melt that first in your pan before adding the vegetables and potatoes. For our seasonings, we're going to want parsley, rosemary, thyme, and dried basil. And I used about probably a teaspoon of each, and then only a 1/4 teaspoon of the rosemary, because that can be a little overpowering if you use too much rosemary. And looks like my basil is gone, so we're gonna have to grow some more, or I'll just go to the store and get some more dried basil while we wait for our fresh stuff to grow and dry. Once our veggies are done sauteing, which takes about 5 minutes, we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of flour. This is gonna make our roux and make the soup a little thicker. So we wanna stir that in, and then we'll add our chicken broth, and we are going to also add 1.5 cups of milk. So we're gonna add the chicken broth and the milk to our mixture now, and just stir this and kind of let it simmer for a little bit to get a little thicker. We don't want it super thick, but just probably like 5 minutes of letting it simmer. After adding our milk and chicken broth, we are going to add in the hamburger that we browned earlier. And then also we are gonna add 16 ounces of Velveeta cheese. And after we stir that in, we will add 4 ounces of cream cheese. And this all really gives it that nice, rich, creamy flavor, or texture, I guess. And then we also want to make sure to add about 3/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. You can add more pepper if you like a lot more pepper, up to you. And then we'll just keep this on the stove on low temp for a few hours until we're ready to eat it at dinner time. And those are the 2 soup recipes. I hope you try these at home. Both of the recipes will be either linked or written in the description below. Definitely make sure to comment, let me know what you think if you've ever had. I'm sure you've had chicken noodle soup before, but the cheeseburger soup, not everybody has. So comment below if you've tried both of these, if you love them, your thoughts and opinions. And I hope to see you guys next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks, y'all.